I found my long-lost brother, but contacting him might ruin both of our lives and our families. Here's what I'm going to do.
Both of their lives?
Could ruin everything.
Maybe you shouldn't do it.
My 30s dad, in his 60s, has a brother, Rick, in his 50s. Before Rick was born, when my grandparents were in their early 20s, my grandfather cheated and had a baby John with another woman.
John? Is it you?
The other woman was a teenager and decided to give John up for adoption. For various reasons, my grandmother stayed with her husband despite the affair, and then they had Rick, who is Opie's uncle. We always knew that this brother was out there, and were always curious about him. We never knew his birth name and that he was given up for adoption in a nearby area.
So like the whole family knows that this estranged brother
John
exists, but doesn't know who John is.
Yes. My dad and my uncle signed up to one of those 23andMe sites, but no one ever came up. I signed up for it too. And one day I signed in and I saw a familiar name. Believe it or not, one of my coworker acquaintances, Jackie, came up as a first or second cousin.
Whoa.
Damn, Jackie! Meaning we probably shared one grandparent. I reached out to her. We did the investigation, and it turns out that her dad is my dad's long-lost half-brother. We did the investigation. John's birth name matched, and John looks more like my grandfather than my dad or Uncle Rick do. But John never signed up for those DNA websites. He was uneasy about finding his biological parents.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I told my dad and Rick about the news because it was exciting. My dad understood John's reservations and sent an email to hold on to and send to John in case he wanted to hear from him. Rick, however, told me that he was going to reach out to John. I asked him how he got any of his contact info, and Rick told me that he already did a background check on John and found out all kinds of info on him.
Uh-oh. What's the info?
All kinds of info. I asked him, begged him, pleaded with him to just wait a little while. Jackie hadn't told John about any of this yet, and I just wanted him to wait until she did. Ideally, John would reach out first or at least give the okay for his brothers to contact him. But at the very least, I wanted him to know about it first. I continued to beg and plead for just some time for John to come to terms with everything. And eventually, Uncle Rick totally blew up at me and essentially said that I was gatekeeping his brother from him. Classic gatekeeping. Is OP suspicious that Uncle John is really...
Oh, like is there more infidelity possibly?
Let's find out. He said I was trying to control his life and it wasn't my decision or Jackie's decision what he does. He told me he was cutting me out of his life completely.
Oh, wait, what?
He's done. Uncle Rick has had enough. Which so far he has. Whatever, he's always been very dramatic and I'm over the drama. He ended up contacting John through John's work email, which really upset Jackie, John, and me. I felt absolutely terrible for telling Rick the news in the first place, but I never expected him to do what he did. So, am I the a-hole? So, Jackie knew that John was uneasy about these sites, which is why he never had signed up to try to find his biological parents. Right. It's like Jackie knows, and Jackie told OP that like, hey, like John is like kind of uneasy about anything that might like uneasy about basically finding out who his biological parents are.
Right. And OP kind of like told his family anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tricky. Is OP the a-hole for telling his family that this is where the long lost brother is?
And I guess like there's like inviting that kind of in a way invite, even though he tried to get them to not do it, it kind of invites them to to him because they now know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
And then also there's the gatekeeping.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of weird on all.
It's right.
Weird. It's weird on all fronts because it's weird. It's kind of like a weird move to tell the people, even after he was specifically kind of told like, hey, I don't know if John would like this.
Yeah.
And it's weird that he's like, oh, don't reach out to him because only like I can reach out to him.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't reach
He
out.
was waiting for Jackie because Jack knows John already. So he was waiting for Jackie to get the okay from John is what it seemed like.
Which
he was trying to do.
If he actually wants to wait for Jackie to get the okay from John, he should wait for Jackie to get the okay from John
Before even telling his uncle that he knows that he knows this person.
Yeah. It feels like he did like 2 half measures.
Yeah.
And neither of them worked out.
Yes.
Like he did a half measure and ensuring that he basically told the family but said not to say anything. So that's a half measure. Like,
what a tease.
Go the full way. Just like, don't like, of course they're going to go reach out to him.
Yeah.
And then he did a half measure by saying like, yeah, he's out there, but I'm not going to give you the information.
Yeah.
It's like go all the way or don't. Like you did 2 half measures and thus you pissed off both sides of the people. And I think that's why I think he's an asshole for not like kind of choosing a side.
Yeah,
almost.
That was a great breakdown. So you really broke that
shit
hell down of that.
I think the least asshole thing to do would be to find out the information and wait for John to respond.
Yeah, because like, why even tell the uncle and the rest of the family that he knows exactly who John is?
Yeah.
Like, why do that? Wait for John to be like, okay.
And they can, I mean, it's not like they can go do the 23andMe thing too if they really wanted to find John. It sounds like OP was the one who wanted to look into it. So I think OP is a little bit the a-hole for 2 half measures.
I think so too.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. And also, do you have any crazy siblings that you found out about? And anyone who's used 23andMe, like, did you find out you're related to someone that you didn't realize?
Oh,
I would love to know your stories on that. And also, if you want to submit your stories to us, we are now taking phone calls. You can pitch us your story and we might call you back and interview about it.
That's right. Call 440-508-6567 and drop your stories.
And now we're going to drop into this next story.
Boom.
Okay.
OP.
I abandoned my family after my mom forced me to meet my daughter. Am I the asshole?
How gnarly is your own freaking daughter, man? Like, she got just perpetual bad breath or...
She's stinky. All right, let's get into this story. So earlier this year, a girl I once, once is in all capitals, hooked up with, texted me and told me she has a 1-year-old daughter and I might be the father. I didn't want to believe her, but we took a paternity test and it turned out I really am the father.
There you go, baby. No more needed.
Literally once. That's so rough, dude.
Hey, all I'm saying, shoot or shoot.
So she didn't tell me she was pregnant. She didn't tell me when my daughter was born. No, she told me when my daughter was 1 year old. I feel like it's a dick move not to tell the father when you're pregnant, right? This and other circumstances has led me to not wanting anything to do with her or my daughter. Of course, I will pay child support, but she didn't give me any chance to bond with her. Well, my mother loves children and immediately got in contact with the mother and met the child. They've been very close and meeting regularly. I have no problem with that at all. I just don't want to meet her myself. Okay, so now to the story. My mom broke her foot and needs help at home. So I moved back in to support her. I helped her with the cats, with food, household stuff. A few days ago, I met with my friend and came home very late and slept until 1 p.m. when I was woken up by some voices coming out of my mom's bedroom. Mind you, she doesn't have a door and I'm sleeping in the living room also without a door. So I listened to the voices and it really was the mother and my child. I didn't want to meet them, see them, hear them, or whatever. I was so mad that my mom would do this to me without waking me up so I can leave. I just got up and left. Later that day, I got an angry text from my mom and my grandma saying I'm a horrible son for just leaving. My grandma said some hurtful stuff about me being like my father. I'm just so confused now. Am I really the asshole for just leaving because she invited 2 people I didn't want to see? Edit, and let me clear some things up. Yes, we use protection. I'm 100% sure about my choice. I just need more time. I get that my daughter is here now, but I need more time to prepare myself as I didn't get 9 months like the mother of my child. My father was in my life, but a shitty dad, and that's why I don't want to rush a decision. I think it would be better for a daughter to not have me present instead of me not being a good enough for her. I slept so long because I was talking to my friend for so long, not drinking or stuff like that. It was a Saturday and abortion in my country is legal. So there is a short edit.
Okay.
But before we get into that, what do you think? Is OP an a-hole? Personally, I would have trouble saying that's like, if that was my daughter or my son, I would have trouble saying like, I don't want to meet them. I would.
I would want to meet them.
Yeah.
I think he's like going. That's where I'm debating because I'm like,
but I would be pretty upset about
that this happened.
That I was not given a heads up.
It's giving like deadbeat dad out of jail free card a little bit, where it's like, hey, you sprung this on me, so it's too much now, and like I just don't want to deal with it, and that's why. It just doesn't feel. I don't know. There's something.
I mean, he's probably shocked.
For sure.
He's probably shocked.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, I think he's totally in his right to be upset that he was not told until she was 1 year old. Totally right to be upset. And let me know if you disagree and why.
Yeah, please.
I feel it's pretty clear, from where I'm standing right now, or the information I have, like I feel like it's a little wrong to not include the father on the decision, but including what John said about like if obviously like there is a dangerous reason or didn't end on in a safe way, like then I totally understand not including the father in that decision. And I think you're right in the deadbeat dad. But there's an update.
Okay.
I've made up my mind. I want to meet her.
Well, there you go.
Okay. So a little bit better. I'll update once I met her. So it'll be, I guess, another update soon.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll have to peek back in once that happens. But yeah,
so I say now, not an asshole.
But yeah, this one was like a little off, but see, maybe OP's coming around. The shock is like kind of ebbing away. So
yeah. So I think OP made the right decision in meeting his daughter.
Yes.
Step in the right direction.
Step in the right direction, baby.
But let me know what you guys think. Put your answers in the comments. And John, let's get into this next story.
Let's do it.
Or actually, better yet, you could literally call us right now while you're listening to this podcast.
That's right.
You could literally call us. John, so what's the number, John?
Hit our line at 440-508-6567. Let's get into the next one.
Okay, OP.
I destroyed my grandparents' marriage after I took an ancestry test, and I might have destroyed the family. Am I the a-hole?
I destroyed my whole family. Am I the a-hole?
I lit my family on fire and watched them burn.
Burnt the house down and walked away without looking. Am I the asshole?
I did an ancestry test. My family immigrated here, and I was curious what our background looked like. I had 4 adults, my parents' age, reach out to me to say that they've been looking for their father, my paternal grandfather. They named him and needed medical questions answered. I was only 17 at the time. Oh man, that is
yikes. Fucking crazy. Yikes. You just do a fun 23andMe test and it's like, who's your grandpa and what's his blood type?
So I referred them to my mother and answered what urgent questions I could. My mother was downright livid and told her mother what she found out. My paternal grandmother was upset and confronted him. As it turns out, the first 10 years of their marriage, he cheated on her more times than he could count.
And she didn't find out? He should have worked for the CIA or something. FBI, go undercover. That's like, all right, like terrible.
Yeah.
But low-key impressive.
But back to our crazy show. 2 more children came out of the woodwork also looking for information. She divorced him. 1 year later, she got a stage 4 cancer diagnosis and passed away. Last week, my maternal grandfather received a knock on his door about a long-lost child. This forced him to admit to cheating. My maternal grandmother has since kicked him out at the ripe age of 82.
Wow, 82. She's not messing around.
They've been married for 65 years and just celebrated their anniversary.
Wow, dude. Well, good for her, honestly. I feel like it takes a lot of strength to be like, get the fuck out at 82.
Wow. I've started packing their house at her request. I've also had to file some other stuff on her behalf prior to this that legally I can't talk about. But life and some of my aunts and uncles have been absolutely shit to her lately, but she's still pushing through. I feel bad that everything is closing in on her, and I almost feel like it's my fault that this all started.
I mean, it is.
Okay.
It's like you didn't cheat on your grandma, but like I implore you to make sure you understand that if you get a 23andMe test, you are opening a mystery box that you don't know what's inside, and it could be very, very bad.
I mean, he's 17, man. He
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He's opening Pandora's box. An effing ancestry test. If I hadn't done the test, this would not have happened. If this hadn't have happened, then maybe life would be okay, but this would be something they would have taken to the grave, and my grandmothers deserve to know. I don't know. I'm struggling with the aspect that I'm the catalyst for all this. Maybe they'll work it out through therapy, but who knows?
All right, just to absolve OP of a little bit of worry, like, yes, you threw the match.
The fire was already there.
The fire was already there. Like it and it wasn't necessarily going to explode, but you were living in a house full of gas.
Yeah.
You threw the match, but you were living in a house full of gas.
You thought you were lighting a stove when in turn you were lighting a gas tank.
Yeah,
an open gas tank.
You were lighting an atomic
barrel
bomb.
of oil. Yeah.
A barrel of oil. But it's not your fault.
No.
But it is. like you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. That's what you didn't do anything wrong, but it is all your fault. All leads back to you. God, this poor kid is watching this just like,
no, it's not his fault.
No.
It's not. He didn't do anything wrong, but you did expose a lie.
Technically,
if you weren't born, your family would still be together.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, if you want to submit your crazy ancestry stories or your dirty family secrets, you should call our line. We will put your story on the show and possibly call you and interview you.
That's right. Hit our line at 440-508-6567. Drop your craziest, juiciest stories. We just might bring them on the show, and we'll see you next time.
You can literally call us right now. Like you should start dialing this second, and like, please just call us.
Do it.
Do it. All right. We'll see you soon.